Hey everyone, today is Tuesday and I have no video footage for tomorrow's video, which will be Wednesday's video. So today I'm just going to jump in the car. I'm going to head over to Prussian Street Arcade. This is a vendor booth situation. I've gone there a couple times before. I love looking at what they have. No, I don't come away with cartloads. They don't even have carts, I don't think. Cartloads of stuff, but I do come away with a solid, I'm gonna say 8 to 10 pieces, and it's near my house and I like going there. So I'm gonna hop in the car today and bring you along with me. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let's go shopping. So recently, my Dymo printer, which I absolutely have loved for the past, this one I've had probably about 4 years, I'm gonna say, kind of stopped working. I think eBay's labels are no longer supported by Dymo. The Dymo is, I'm gonna put that out there, like maybe a 2.5 by 7 label, and like I said, I've always used this, it always worked well, but recently, because the platform is not supporting it, I've had a hard time printing labels and have upgraded to the Rollo, which the Rollo is nice, I just don't think it looks very good on the desk, and aesthetics is very important to me. I'll get over it. I wish Rollo would make their printer, this is a label printer, like the label writer, like the Dymo. All right, so now I am just getting ready to get my act together and head out the door. Figured I'd give you a little snapshot of what it looks like around here. This is the back room. That cape is actually listed. I need to pack that down. This dress came in a thread up scrap box. So Mellissa, my daughter Freshbloominclothing, orders boxes off of thread up for resale, and she recently ordered boxes and got me one. So a few pieces were good. The rest of it I will probably donate. There is the steamer. You guys always ask about what steamer I use, and it is the Pure Steam. Love this steamer. Squeaky floors. All right, so these items are not listed yet. This is what the back room looks like. This is where the inventory pours into, and I get it processed. As you can see, lots of hard goods coming and going, dinosaurs, cars, Santas, you know, all the normal craziness. All right, let me find my shoes. Usually the living room does not have anything going on for eBay, but I am trying to stay on top of folding inventory as I list it. So I think it was yesterday I listed a good majority of the retail stuff I bought from the outlets. So that is now on my store, which is great. And this is what it looks like. I just fill IKEA bags once I fold things down. So I just use an ironing board. There it is over there. And pack everything with tissue paper and just put little labels in it so I can find things. All right, so that is what's going on in Lavenderclothesline living room. Let's grab some shoes. What do I want to wear today? Do I want sneakers? Those are scruffy sneakers that I love to wear. I got my Nikes. Maybe I'll just throw on slip-ons. That's good. I love slip-on shoes. So easy. I think it's going to be a beautiful day today. Look at that. My packages are already picked up. We are in good shape. Let's get on the road. So naturally, I have to share everything with you guys. I just got out of the post office, and I buy a lot of stamps at once because I use so many of them. So I bought $100 worth of stamps. Look how cute these are. Scooby-Doo. Oh my goodness. And I got spooky silhouettes, which I really don't even celebrate Halloween. I'm not against it, but you know, I don't decorate or anything. But those I thought were really cool. They're kind of like metallic. And Star Wars stamps. Who doesn't love Star Wars stamps? I got the most amount of these. I think I got 7 sheets of them. Very fun. I think I'm a nerd. All right, let's get serious. Let's go shopping. Prussian Street Arcade is one of my favorite places to shop. So much different than Goodwill or the other thrift stores. And yet I have found quite a few items here in the past to flip for a profit. So let's get started. We're not going to do every vendor spot or every booth, but I am going to give you the highlights of the day. I would just live in this place. Every booth is more beautiful than the next. Now, I thought these woven baskets were a little bit high priced. I wasn't looking at them for reselling, but just out of my own curiosity because they were so pretty. There are one or two spots, vendor booths, that I do like to visit. This next one is one of them. This vendor carries pre-owned clothing. I imagine she's getting this stuff from thrift stores. I want to know what thrift store she is shopping at. I thought this was really good. When I look at the prices, this would be more for personal use. So $18 for that bodysuit. I don't know that I want to wear bodysuits. I remember wearing them back in the 80s. She did have really pretty, well, I should say good condition items. So I always make sure to pop in. I think I've bought a blouse or two different times of visiting. There I am. When you shop a lot at thrift stores, I find it very hard to pay full retail or even pay, up for items. I'm spoiled because I see so much clothing. I'm going to say like maybe half my closet is from a thrift store. All right, so this is Willow and Creek. I have shown this booth before. Right off the bat, I see this planter guy, $10 for this pheasant planter. I didn't think that was horrible because I feel he's really good. And with Thanksgiving coming up and the fall season, the colorway on this bird is so beautiful. And they did have little carts. I'm thrilled for any place that has carts. That way I can just throw my bag in and go around and collect stuff that I want to purchase. So here I'm just getting lay of the land, trying to take it all in. I'm like Dory, every sparkly little thing. This wall spoon holder, it's not a spoon holder. I mean, it doesn't hold spoons. I thought it was very good, but the price was a little bit high for me for resale, and that is what I'm here for today. I mentioned to my daughter Lisa we have to just get lunch and come here to shop for ourselves one day. I like different wood urns and different wood boxes and cases, but I'm not really thrilled with them when they have like a tropical pattern or when they have like camels on them, something that looks very souvenir-y. I'm going to call it. Is that even a word, souvenir-y? It is now. Okay, so the store or the booth is called Creek and Willow. I think I called it Willow and Creek. Oh, do we love a good little elf? Yes, we do. Look at that face. $16. Again, a little bit high. I mean, not high for buying it for personal use, but not much profit capability in that. I did look at this antler. I couldn't figure out if this was genuine or if this was like carved wood. I guess it's genuine. I know that deer shed their antlers. I have seen gorgeous chandeliers made out of strictly antlers, so beautiful. This little dish, $6, and this looks like it was handmade in 1976. I kind of wonder about that. I feel like that was mass-produced and somebody just signed it like that. Iridescent leaf bowl. So the other day I put some new pillows in my living room. I took out the summer ones and just put some velvet pillows in. I think I might have caught that in the film. And now turquoise is catching my attention because the pillows are like a peacock color. It's funny how just a couple of pillows can change everything. I liked that mosaic stone plate. $32 for these fish. That was high, even for personal use, I felt. I might have looked at this brass dolphin in the past. I did like it very much. If it would have been, I'm going to say $8 or less, I would have bought that. $12. I always keep what I think I can flip it for in my mind. That is the number one criteria. I did not want to buy this for resale. This is a wood carving. I didn't see a signature. I felt like it was a little bit on the plain side. Now I don't know that this was vintage, but this little kitten ring holder, adorable. $10, zinc alloy. I like the way his eyes sparkled. These days I'm lucky if I get earrings on. I am barely wearing rings. I am a girl on the move. I don't have time for detail in my life, so I don't know that I need a ring holder by the kitchen sink. Lately, jewelry has been capturing my attention. So I must have like 10 new niches going in my brain at once, and jewelry is one of them. I know a little bit about jewelry, but I don't know a lot. So if I pick up jewelry today, it's gonna be, I'm gonna say $5 or under per piece. This was like a butterfly trash can. I always like to encourage you guys, if you see something that I did not showcase or bring forward for you to see, I would love to hear if you would have liked to have seen it or if you would have purchased it. Here's a hand-carved owl, wood owl, and I definitely loved him. There's a lot of detail in this owl. And I think I was very hungry at this point because I felt like his stomach looked like a cob of corn. At this point in the day, I've only had coffee for lunch. Pewter candlesticks. I thought this brass vase was interesting. Had some mother of pearl inlay. I am seeing more and more of jars of certain type items that are just colorful. I guess that's becoming a real way of decorating. Another jar with little tidbits of crocheted lace. I don't think I liked the Christmas bulbs, but boy did I like this little elf planter. $22. Sometimes when I visit vendors' booths and I see that they have these items, I wonder if they're getting this from auction or if they are shopping in a thrift store, and I want to know what thrift store they're finding those little elf planters in. There's a monkey pod bowl from Hawaii. It was like a tulip shape. I really liked that. You guys know my taste by now. I love wood items. I think this was a reproduction of a rider on a horse. I thought that was very fun. And of course I had to tip it to get it to move. I think this box was probably newer. Kind of a nice place to throw your change when you come in the door. While I do buy quite a few bookends, I didn't care for these turtle bookends. I like to see the turtles more detailed. Owls are either a really quick seller for me or they sit forever. Really depends on the individual owls. Okay, this is beautiful. I'm thinking this might have been Coppercraft, $28, and it was USA, so I'm thinking that was Coppercraft. Beautiful. I've never seen a candelabra like that in copper. So this is just a little overview of what the booth looks like. And we found the two pieces. So here is another booth that has quite a bit bric-a-brac or hard goods. I thought this painting was very interesting. Not something I want to hang in my house, but I love the way artwork evokes a mood. It's another pheasant planter, and I think mine is much better. So I'm feeling good about my purchase. I will feel even better when it sells and I've made money on it. I always stop by Modern Vintage to see what they have going on. Okay, so board games are another niche I am trying to learn. As I've expressed before, Roger is a big game seller. He's a gamer. Not really. So he and I have been talking about board games a lot. Love expanding my knowledge. At this point though, if I found a really good board game, I'd probably give it to him. We trade inventory back and forth all the time. And it's a great learning experience for what is selling and what the other person looks for. Okay, I did really like this sherbet colored Afghan chevron zigzag, $16 too high. If I found that colorway in Goodwill or another thrift store, I would have picked that up immediately. So beautiful. For me, knitted or crocheted Afghans really have a lot to do with the colorway and how it would fit into somebody's decor in my mind. So that is the main criteria besides condition and workmanship. There's Blendo glasses and pitcher in green on the shelf. Look at the face on the cookie jar. Some of the paint was worn away, but I thought that was fantastic. Dutch boy cookie jar, $40. This vendor here has a tendency to be high priced. I don't buy too much at this booth, but I always give a look. This is the vendor spot that I filmed last time I was here, and they have the big wooden Buddha. I think it's coming up, and of course it still hasn't sold. It's going to take a real unique buyer to buy that Buddha on the end. Here I'm starting to notice jewelry in a case. I love, 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 triple love the way this vendor has displayed this. Makes it so nice to shop. So now I've decided that I want to take a closer look at this jewelry. And again, so nice that you don't have to ask somebody to get a key, because the majority of this is like $3. So really nice display. Kudos to this vendor. Here I'm looking at this first piece. It's a brooch. I'm very into these peacock colors lately. The blues, the turquoisey greens, just so pretty. So because I don't know costume jewelry, I'm judging on a few things. I'm judging on that all the stones, the condition is good, and that the stones are glass and not plastic. I felt like those rhinestones were kind of dull, not really shiny enough. And again, leave a comment down below if you liked one of these pins and I didn't pick it up. And just like magic, we are now at Jubilee Ministries in Mannheim. They are a thrift store that has the mission of helping people that have been in prison and are trying to be, I believe, integrated back into society. So I very rarely pop into this store. I don't find much here, to be totally honest. And I feel their prices are a little out of control for what the item is. If a thrift store has an item that's really good, I'm happy to pay up for it. But sometimes people pricing these items, I don't know if they're just looking at eBay comps, not looking at solds, but what other people are pricing high. Like they might put the name of the item into a search and then You know, even if things don't sell at that price, that's what they're going to charge. Now here I'm turning over plates, 99 cents. That's good. That's Sanyo. I don't pick up that brand, but more than fair. But as I shopped through the store, I really felt like I don't know who was making up these prices. Quite often when I go to other thrift stores, I see items with the Jubilee tag coming into other thrift stores. And to me, that means one thing. They were unable to sell it and they're redonating it to get the tax write-off, you know, because they couldn't sell it at the price. You'll see what I mean as we go along. The first few little things were fine in price. But as I shopped, you'll see what I mean by the high pricing. I thought this bowl was beautiful. This Noritake. If there would have been more than one bowl, I would have picked those up. Use them as like relish bowls or something, you know, that type of name, keyword. But just one, I'm trying not to do that. I don't know that I've ever filmed this thrift store, so I figured that we would pop in and I would show it to you. Now again, this is in Mannheim. I believe it's on Frederick Street, and it's called Jubilee Thrift Store. Okay, keyboards. A lot of keyboards and electronics. Electronics is going to be the last niche I learn about because I have no interest in it. I did not run a comp on these, and that was a mistake on my part because $4 for a keyboard is a fairly good price. I might go back and watch this footage and run a comp. Well, you guys will probably beat me to it, and you'll all let me know that that was a mistake not to pick up those keyboards. Again, blue is catching my attention, double time. While I was shopping today in this store, there were quite a few shoppers, but one of the things I notice and I take note of is how many items people are buying. The majority of the shoppers in the store, I was probably there for about a half hour, 40 minutes, bought nothing or one thing. So these shelves are packed. I don't know what the thinking is to have a lot of customers come in and go out and not buy anything. I think if they would just lower their prices by a couple of dollars, you know, it would be just better off for shoppers and better off for the store. Just my 2 cents. Oh, I love Ed Hardy. I did not know Ed Hardy made glasses. I should know that. But I'm really hoping that Ed Hardy becomes a thing again. Okay, $4 a glass for Bugs Bunny glasses, so $16 for the set. Snap-on Tools is a very good name to look out for in tools. I'm sure you guys all know that. Any tools I have found with the Snap-on branding brought really good money. This was a dartboard. And I don't know that I looked especially hard for the price because I wasn't going to ship out a very heavy dartboard with the contents. Here the back room is just furniture mainly, some tote bags and handbags. Now this wasn't all of their purses. They had purses in another area, and the majority of the purses were overpriced. Recently I sold a lamp. Eldrith pottery that brought, I don't know, good money. I don't even know what I got for it. So I always turn these kind of earthenware pottery lamps over to see if they have the Eldrith signature. That one did not. I liked that orange lamp over there. Did you catch that? Hopefully I filmed that. I'm not quite sure if I did or not. Leather saddle. And a toll tray, which are very hard to move. $8 for that one. Not a horrible price. A quick look through linens. I often use the touch test for linens to be able to see if it is a high thread count and if the item is dense, I'll call it. I look for dense fabric. So fabric that is dense has more threads per square inch. And that is called thread count. I'm sure you guys all know that. But by touch, you can tell if the item is better made. Okay, this is Opal House. This was much heavier than I thought. And I did not want to ship that. I thought that was quite good. Here are a few of the more interesting pieces that I wound up picking up. I'd like to give you guys some sort of a haul every time I shop. So let's get started. We'll just look at the pieces and I'll tell you what I know about them. So this I know nothing about. I think it's a pheasant, definitely a planter, super clean. I really liked his colors. I thought he was fantastic. Nice heavy weight. When we look at the bottom, you can see that I picked him up, paid $10. Now, normally I wouldn't spend $10 on a planter bird with no marking, but I really felt like he was good and I couldn't leave him behind. Next up is a carved wood owl. So this is all hand carved. There is the bottom, again, $10. And I thought he was just fantastic. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to price him at, but I really liked this guy. Very different from the carved figures, the carved birds I've picked up in the past. Next up, I'm going to show this bowl. So I'm going to hold it up to the light so you can see the color. It's a very transparent green. To me, this shape is so mid-century modern. I couldn't leave it behind. Just beautiful. No markings that I found of any kind, which a lot of the glass that I find is not marked. $2.50. Green is a good seller. Green is probably one of my best sellers in glass. Mostly green, sometimes the cobalt blue, but those are the two colors of glass that I sell the most of. Not that I sell a lot of glass, but those two colors are the most frequent sellers. Next up, I went to Jubilee Ministries Thrift. I don't go there a lot because their prices are crazy high and they don't have good inventory as a general rule. But when I pulled up, there was a sign that said all women's scarves 50 cents. 50 cents? No, 25 cents. So how can you pass that up? So normally this would have been $2.99, which is a fine price for a scarf, and I wound up getting it for $1.25. And this is 100% wool, and look at that colorway. Do we love this? Yes, we do. So I noticed on the back the way that the pattern doesn't really match up. I don't know if that's going to hurt it or not. But this is the tag, all wool rooster. I'll have to look that up. But this colorway is really good, very preppy, and I said yes to it. And last up, I picked up 3 pieces of jewelry. Again, I know nothing about jewelry, but I like to take a chance with different items. I like to pick up different items, train my eye, and learn as I go along. So I picked up this rhinestone pin. I really liked the colorway, and the rhinestones are not plastic. I won't pick up rhinestone jewelry if the rhinestones are a plastic or, something like that. Nice and heavy weight, beautiful coloring, very, very peacockish. Cameo. I know cameos are carved out of shell normally, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. You can Google how to tell a real cameo. They give all kinds of tips. Hold it to your cheek, see if it's warm, see if it's cold. Of course, you look for the marking on the back to see if it is sterling or gold. I did not find any marking on this, but I paid $5. That's a little high for me for experimenting, but I figured I would give it a go. And last up, another rhinestone pin. These are just costume jewelry, unmarked. Really beautiful. And those are the pieces that I wanted to share. All right, guys. So thanks so much for watching. Go out and get what's yours.